Hi everyone, Slats here from AFG. Just doing another video from Slater headquarters. My son Geordie is on the camera once again. Just thought I'd give you a sneak peek at our new COVID-19 calculator that we'll be sending out to all our members this week. We mentioned it on the webinar yesterday. Just a few notes about the calculator. We built it 8 days ago, so we decided on the webinar 8 days ago that we actually need to build something. We built it. We're going to push it out as quickly as we can. We're looking for some feedback from all our brokers. We hope that you like it. Just do want to make a couple of points in terms of support. Our phone support teams that are actually all working remote now anyway, they haven't been trained up on how to use this calculator. So if you've got any queries or questions about how to use the calculator, you can either call our partnership managers or you can shoot me an email. So Geordie will bring the camera over and we'll get into this one as quick as we can. So this is the calculator here. It's in Excel format, pretty simple. The highlighted cells in yellow are editable. I'm just going to do a real quick scenario to demonstrate to you. So I've got two loans. I've just made a fictitious bank up, Funky Cool Bank FCB. So the first loan, 138,000 owing, 3.02% interest rate. The minimum repayments on that loan are $632. It's P&I. And the second loan is 655,000. Same interest rate, minimum payments $3,065 on that loan. That basically just gives me a total owing of $793,000, and these would be my payments, $3,697 a month. There's a section in there on cash availability, which is just around having the conversation with the customer. It doesn't affect the calculations, but it's just a conversation piece for you to get a snapshot and give the customer a summary of how much cash they've actually got available to themselves at the time you're running these options. So the first option is just paying the minimum repayments. So regardless of what they were paying prior to this date, if they made the minimum repayments, when would their loan mature, and what would be the total amount of interest they pay, and then it just gives you a nice little schedule there where the customers can see the standard depreciation of the debt, paying the debt off. That one's pretty simple and easy. Then we get into the real options. So option two will be to pay interest only. So up here in the yellow, you can change the start date. So you can change that to whatever you want. I've just selected May the 7th, 2020, because it's 30 days from today. And we've said that we want to pay interest only for 6 months. So what the calculator then just does is it works out what the loan balance would be at the end of the 6 months, tells you how much interest you would pay over that 6 month. And it also says if you keep your minimum repayments up after the loan, after the interest only period, that 6 months matures, when would you pay your loan off? So it just gives you the date. And then it also says if you decided that you wanted to keep the same repayment term, what would you have to increase your repayments to? So in this example, your payments, instead of being $632 a month, are now $647 a month. And instead of being $3,065 a month on the bigger loan, they're now $3,106. You also then have option three. So some customers you talk to, they mightn't be able to make the minimum repayments. They mightn't be able to make interest-only repayments, but they might want to pay something rather than just paying nothing. So just in this example, I've put in here, I'll just put in the customer's going to pay $250 a month on the first one and $640 a month on the second one. It does exactly the same thing then, calculates the loan balance at the end of the period, the interest charged over the period, and also works the dates out depending on what option you choose at the back end of that 6 month period. And then we go to the last option, which is the pay nothing option. Run over exactly the same timeline, exactly the same start date, calculates the interest, and tells you what your repayments would look like and when you would pay the loan off. So hopefully that's pretty simple and easy to understand. What it then does is give you a summary. So it gives you a summary of those four options that you spoke to the customer about. It also then gives the opportunity to look ahead. So I've just selected 6 months here. It says, so tell us after the 6 months what the loan balance will be on each loan. And you can see here, if you made minimum repayments, your loan balance would be about $782,500. If you didn't make any payments at all, your loan balance would jump up to $806,000. And this is just the amount of interest you'll be charged over that 6 months in difference. And then it just gives you a nice little graph of what the adjusted maturity date will look like if you just kept making the minimum repayments as well. And then when you go into the version that we send you, it'll then actually create a PDF of that. This is a pre-prepared one. It's not the scenario I just did, but that'll just all come out in a PDF that you can share with your customer. So I hope you've really enjoyed that little session that we just did there. Hopefully the calculator helps you out in your conversations with your customer. We do want to stress that we didn't design this calculator for our brokers to be giving advice to customers, more to just be helping them produce factual data and some options around that factual data that the customer can consider when they talk to their lender. If you need any help with it, just a reminder, talk to your partnership managers or shoot me an email. Thanks very much, and we'll catch up with you on the webinar next week.